Hi guys, my name is Serena the journalist. I am actually a journalist, and we have quite an interesting topic today. Now, where do I begin? If you don't know, then Kemi Badenoch has become the Conservative Tory party leader after Rishi Sunak and beating Robert Jerrick. Yes, a black woman is leading the Tory party. It isn't a massive win as you think, and could actually be a distraction. The party have historically been known to represent the middle class and the rich. Kemi Badenoch's real name is Olukemi Olufonto Adegoke Badenoch. She was born in Wimbledon and then went back to Nigeria before returning when she was 16 years old. She has said that being a very angry young person got her involved in politics, which many of us do. But many of us don't go on to support a party that have been represented by the likes of Margaret Thatcher, Boris Johnson, and David Cameron, just to name a few. Identity politics regarding Kemi is trivial. People think that just because she is black that she must be for the people, and this is just further from the truth. James Baldwin once said in Notes of a Native Son, "One cannot help observing that some leaders and their politicians are far more concerned with their careers than with the welfare of blacks, and their dramatic and publicised battles are with the wind." The principle still stands here. In many ways, Kemi is going to have to go against actively helping out black people to not seem one-sided, and could possibly do what the Tory government want her to do. But as she's worked her way up the ranks in the Tory party, she has made to be none other than a tool for the party, a distraction to the values the party has always held. In other words, she could be seen as a token black woman that can be used to say, hey, we're not racist because now we have a black Tory leader. Earlier this year, it was revealed that Tory donor Frank Hester made a racist and awful comment about the black woman MP, Diane Abbott, who was the Labour MP for Hackney. Just for some context here, Frank Hester is a British businessman and the founder and CEO of a software company called the Phoenix Partnership. He is the largest ever donor to the Conservative Party, given £10 million a year up to March 2024. And after his comment, the whole Tory party went silent, waiting for their token black girl Kemi, who was the business secretary at the time, to speak up and actually admit that, yes, it was racist what he said. She rightfully said that the comment he made was racist and appalling. And just when you think, wow, this is growth. She said the party should still accept his money. Not just accept his money, that Hester has shown remorse when it's clear he wasn't even sorry in the first place. Class has always been seen in a disregard when it comes to identity politics. But it's actually such a big divide between the two people of the same complexion. Kemi is living proof of that. The amount of things she said, you guys, I just can't. In 2023, she made a speech at the Conservative conference where she said,
I tell my children that this is the best country in the world to be black, because it is a country that sees people, not labels.
I was so confused that I even wrote an article about it in the Daily Mirror. Go ahead and read that, I'll see if I can link it below. But to say with your whole chest, when time and time again black people have been and still are discriminated against by the education system, the work system, the police system, it's just dumb. It's just dumb to say the least. Her role as an MP with a salary that people could only dream about is quite different to the life of a black mum struggling to make ends meet. And further to say that we believe, as Martin Luther King once said, people should be judged by the context of their character, not the colour of their skin. You know, good brownie points there, but Zora Neale Hurston once said, if you are silent about your pain, then they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it. If black people are quiet about what we enjoy day in, day out, then people like Kemi will say that the UK is the best place in the world for black people to live, when I'm sure that is quite wrong. It's privileged to live in the bubble that she does, dissociating herself and pretend that racism doesn't hold black people back every single day. Black experience is more than just race in Britain. It's based on where you live, your class, how you speak, even down to the complexion of your blackness. Yes, colorism is real, but that is going to be a whole nother video. Let's not forget, not too long ago, she made that tone-deaf comment about working in McDonald's and becoming working class for a few days.
Well, I worked at McDonald's when I was 16, but it wasn't working at McDonald's that made me working class. It was an example of how I had become working class. I wasn't working there as a weekend job or part-time. That was my job. I was going to college part-time.
Let's just be clear here that Kemi grew up in a middle-class family. Her parents, who was a GP and a professor of psychology, paid for her private education. Class inequality is not a line where you can just jump over when you want. Just because she flipped a few burgers and probably scrubbed a few toilets, then went back to her rich family, doesn't mean she was working class. It means she had a job. She worked at McDonald's among other jobs to support herself, which is what normal 16-year-olds do during their A-levels. But the sheer audacity to say no, to think about it, say it, and then stand by it, this I don't get. Class is something that looms over every single thing we do. When we look at all the social and political issues and interact with one another, it's way more complex than just black and white. She went on a BBC show recently and did a long speech about how one day she hopes the colour of your skin won't matter, just like the colour of your eyes or hair. And she's proud that she's in a country and a party that supports her. And that's all great, but we would all want to be not judged by our skin. Fortunately, that's the reality. I unfortunately don't think that will change anytime soon. No matter how many black presidents we have, no matter how many Oprahs there are, no matter how many Beyoncés there are, no matter how many black women books we read, it's just not happening. Black Equity, known as one of the highest independent national black civil rights organisations, wrote on their Instagram, "The appointment of Kemi Badenoch as leader of the Conservative Party marks a significant moment as she becomes the first British Nigerian to lead a major UK political party. This is a step forward in representation and reflecting the diverse communities in the UK. However, it is important to acknowledge and assess Kemi's commitment to issues facing black and other ethnic minorities in the UK, as well as her stance on LGBTQIA+ rights. Leadership is about uplifting and championing all communities, particularly those who are underrepresented, and we hope her appointment as leader comes with positive change and improvements for all underrepresented and minority communities in the UK. We wish her well. We recognise that there are going to be challenges as it's not easy to be a black female leader, and we strongly encourage more moments such as her calling out the racism Dan Abbott experienced." Actually took it down now because of the backlash they got, but I got the scoop. In terms of representation, I agree it is a step forwards. But what good is representation when it comes from privileged people, when they're able to dissociate themselves from a whole part of their own identity and community? What's the point of having someone like Kemi in a party where its party values have caused so much anguish for not just the black community, but anyone who isn't white and middle class? I think to label Kemi's role as a win for the whole black community when our whole premise has been trying to belittle the black experience and dismantle it and disregard the voices of those she can't relate to is a cop-out, to be honest. We've seen countless times how companies have used a diversity hire as a checklist and know many black people in high and low roles of all sectors who have yet to reap the benefits of their positions. Interesting to see Kemi's commitment to issues facing the black community and those from ethnic minority backgrounds, and other issues regarding the LGBTQA+ community. But for now, I'm not holding my breath that there'll be any positive change with her in power. Only time will tell.